Welcome back to the World of Tennis, presented by BNP Paribas.
Well, this week, the editors at Tennis Magazine take a look at the distinguished history of tennis at Madison Square Garden.
The Editors Roundtable is brought to you by Tennis Magazine.
Hi, welcome to another edition of the Tennis Magazine and Tennis.com Editors Roundtable. I'm Peter Bodo here with my colleague Steve Tigner and David Rosenberg. We're here today to talk about tennis at Madison Square Garden. It's got a long and rich history going right back to the 1930s, before the professional era. Madison Square Garden really became the center of attention of the tennis world. It was during the Volvo Grand Prix Masters. In fact, the Nabisco Masters had various sponsors, but it was always at the Garden. It was in January. It was the wind up to the previous year. There was often prize money and bonus money at stake, and they bought in the top 8 players. At one point they had a draw of 16, but basically it was a one-week event at Madison Square Garden in January, had great buzz, and that kind of set the tone in our era for tennis at the Garden.
Yeah, I think
you guys remember that?
I remember watching matches, McEnroe and Ashe, a great match between those two. Watching Bjorn Borg argue call for pretty much the only time in his career. Maybe it could only happen in New York, I don't know. But I feel like that tournament, which is now the Masters Cup, has lost some of its buzz or excitement or importance since it's left New York. I mean, it's still a big money event, but you don't hear it was a bigger deal.
I think players really like playing in New York. That's what I remember when the women's championships left there. I remember a lot of them sort of saying that they miss playing in New York City, and I think just the venue itself is so fantastic. I mean, it's one of the few events where you're actually in the center of a major city.
But another interesting aspect, there was the Virginia Slims. Did you remember the Virginia Slims back then?
Yeah, I mean, I used to go, as a kid, that was like an annual trip for us. We used to go in November. It was always around Thanksgiving. We used to go, and it was fantastic.
So what do you think of this upcoming exhibition? Do you like that, Sampras and Agassi, McEnroe and Lendl?
I like that lineup. I think I think fans are always happy to see McEnroe in New York. New York is a very self-celebrating town, so I think they're going to like going out there. And of course, Pete and Andre. Now you've got this narrative with Pete and Andre because some of the controversial things that have happened since Andre published his book, in which he was somewhat critical about Pete.
No love lost between either of these, Lendl, McEnroe, or Sampras and Agassi.
Well, that's about it for another edition of the Tennis Magazine Editors Roundtable. Please join us next time, and don't forget, for more information on anything we're talking about, just go to tennis.com.
This Editors Roundtable discussion was brought to you by Tennis Magazine. Get exclusive tennis coverage online at tennis.com.
Well, you will not want to miss next week when the editors of Tennis Magazine discuss the greatest rivalries in tennis history. Plus, we'll go back to Madison Square Garden for the BNP Paribas Showdown for the Billie Jean King Cup, the conclusion of the exciting match between Venus and Serena Williams. All this and more next week on the World of Tennis, presented by BNP Paribas.